Hi, my name's TGH, and this is going to be a tutorial on running FEZ any percent, speedrunning FEZ any percent. First and foremost, a couple things I want to go over before the tutorial actually starts, before we get into it. First off, the approved version for speedruns for right now, and this video is being recorded on March 17th, 2017. As of right now, the only improved version for speedruns is version 1.12, and there's actually a certain special, code of sorts, I guess you'd call it, that you have to enter into the launch options of the game before you can start. And I've actually detailed that code in the description of this video, along with some other things that I'll get to later. But basically, if you type in the code that's in the description, it should be --gata--gomez-fast. You'll see this option right here, speedrun mode, with Gomez basically dressed as Sonic or whatever. So you have to run speedrun here. You have to run that in order to get your in-game time to show up in the top right corner. For the run to be validated and for your in-game time to count. So that is important. You must do that, or else your run will be invalidated. And this only works on version 1.12 as well, and you can do that via Steam as well, should you play the game on Steam. Another thing is the PC version is very strongly recommended for the speedrun. It's actually required. Never mind. It's never mind recommended. It's required because you have to have that IGT, and I do not believe you can do that on Xbox or PS Vita or whatever the other systems are for the game. Okay, so for the sake of convenience, I'm actually going to use not the speedrun mode. I'm going to use my third save file here. Okay, so we're going to get into it right now. So the game starts off simple enough. You just basically exit this door to start the game. And you can press up, obviously. I won't go too far into basic controls. This is assuming that you know the basic controls of the game. The first thing I want to go over right away is there's a certain mechanic. So you start off and you can move around. There's one mechanic I want to get into right away, and that's whenever Gomez grabs a corner like this, this is the first thing you want to do, is you want to grab this corner. And when you hold in the opposite direction to the corner, so right now I'm holding to the right, and jump, you can actually jump off of the corner. So first thing you want to do is you want to grab this corner as fast as you can out of the door and just jump up there to the right, grab the ladder, climb up the vines. I always try to jump right there. Do another corner jump off of that if you can. And another mechanic, if you're on a corner. Okay, so if you're on a corner, these are just basic, like this is more or less an advanced strat. Honestly, it's okay if you don't understand this right away. But basically, so if you're holding in the opposite direction here and you press, for instance, I'm using a DualShock controller. You can use any controller you want for this run. But if you press X while pressing away from a corner, you will jump away. So you'll jump away. If you let go of the directional, Gomez won't jump off of the corner. So this is what you want. That's called a corner jump. Okay, so when Gomez jumps straight up off of the corner, that's called a corner jump. It's a little bit trickier than it looks because you have to actually be holding in the opposite direction, and then as soon as you press jump, and Gomez won't jump again if you're not holding the opposite direction, as soon as you press jump, let go of the directional. I think you have a few frames to do this. It's not terribly tight, but just the muscle memory is a little bit hard to get a hold of. It's hard to get used to. And then you come up here, jump on that plateau, and mash through Geezer's text. Again, corner jumping, or corner kicking, excuse me, that's called a corner kick when you jump straight up. It's more of an advanced strat. It saves about half a second every time you can pull it off when you are on a corner. So just smash through the hexahedron's text. So in this run, with the current route, we'll be getting 12 anti-cubes and, 11 anti-cubes. I'm still wrong. Wow, 21 anti-cubes and 11 golden cubes, excuse me. So if you're familiar with the game, you'll know that golden cubes are acquired by just exploring the worlds and finding them. Anti-cubes are gotten by solving puzzles and entering codes that you're supposed to find out by playing the game, but since this is a speed run, we know all the codes in advance. Another thing, as soon as you maintain control here, rotate the screen 4 times. You can rotate it as little as 3 times to actually advance, but 4 times is slightly faster. And the game's gonna go through this kind of faux crash. And you just want to basically mash through this. There we go. And then you can mash both X and... I usually just mash X and square, or A and B on a normal controller. Okay, so right off the bat, as soon as you see the room, you want to enter the achievement code, which I have listed at the bottom of the screen. And just jump and get the cube. There's your first anti-cube and exit the door. So that's going to be what this run is about, more or less. And the achievement code is right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, left trigger, left trigger. And again, don't be discouraged if you don't memorize the codes right away. I'll be honest, I haven't even memorized the codes. I still use a cheat sheet. It's not that big of a deal. As long as it doesn't waste you any time to look at it, it's fine. Alright, so you want to mash through all of Dot's text. And then as soon as we gain control, you're going to want to drop down so that you trigger the door to open. So you just like kind of stand here, like right in front of the mailbox basically. You can stand a little bit here. Like I'll show you like why you can choose between positions to stand here. So basically, say I were to like drop from here, you can drop from right there and exit the door, but your next objective is to grab this corner right there. And it can be awkward from like any basically any position that's not like right here or slightly to the right of it, so you can easily grab that corner. So you want to open this door, and if you do it fast enough, you can actually get through the door before Dot tells you the door is unsealed, and it saves a little bit of time. So this is the monocle room. So you want to enter this room and type in the monocle painting code. So I'm just going to do that real quick. There are a variety of different perspectives that the room can actually be in once you finish entering the code, but you want to make sure that when you're done, that you see this angle with the treasure chest right in front, so that you can basically just come right in. So this is what it looks like. And just open the treasure chest, and as soon as you get this item, as soon as you get the key, you want to mash through Dot's text, go right through the fireplace and grab the anti-cube and go out. As soon as you come out here, you want to rotate right on top of the box. and grab that golden cube right there. So again, rotate right twice, and then just come up here, grab that cube, and then from here, you can actually do like a little jump and rotate there. So again, like in order to get up to that platform to get that other golden cube, you want to just kind of jump. You might run into a problem if you stay in the alcove, which you don't want to do. You'll do an accidental perspective teleport, which I'll get into later. But you want to be slightly out of the hole when you do this. Again, if you're inside, you'll just teleport to the other side, and that's not good. So it's kind of a weird quirk with the way the game positions you on a certain axis when you are in an alcove and switch perspective in midair. But you don't want that, so you just want to be slightly outside that hole before you perspective teleport. Excuse me, I did not do that right at all. Okay, so let me get back up there so I can show you. Alright, so again, in the hole, jump slightly out, and switch right. Grab this, and from here, some people like to grab the cube and then rotate right so that you're right here, and then drop down. You want to get down to this door here. What I like to do instead, and I find this to be slightly easier, I think it might actually be a little bit faster as well, is just don't rotate at all. Drop down here, drop down, make sure you're on this grass part right here and not on the wood. Make sure you're on the grass, and then just rotate right and you're right in front of the door. Make sure you mash up here, because when you open a locked door, you don't automatically enter the door, unlike any other door, like say for instance this door. For instance, this door over here, I can just press up once and it will open the door and enter. But when you have a locked door, you have to press up twice to enter. When you enter this room, you want to enter this code right here, the pipe room. Interesting thing about codes beginning with an up input is you want to make sure that you enter that up input before you gain control of Gomez, because I'll show you what happens. If you press up, so say right here, I press up first, I'm gonna leave. So actually another thing you can do to avoid that is just like kind of stand here, or stand here even, and enter the code. But basically this is what it's supposed to look like that. Actually, let me redo that because that's not the right way. Well, the cube's not supposed to be there, but you'll get the idea. Okay, so when you enter this door, you go that, enter. Your camera's going to be like this with the cube behind the boiler here. You want to make sure that Gomez stays behind the boiler. Grab the cube, and then just rotate left once and leave. Okay, from here, you just want to go to the right, drop down, grab this cube, rotate right twice, and then come on down and leave. Dot's going to give you some text here, just smash through that. Another mechanic I wanted to mention, when you're jumping off of a cliff, you actually have some frames after you start falling to still jump. So for instance, like you'll notice, like this jump I'm about to do right here, you'll notice that I'll fall, but I'll still jump after falling a little bit, like that. Okay, so from here, there's just an ascension up to the next part of the game. There are two ways to ascend this series of platforms here. One of those is more advanced than the other. I'm going to show you the less advanced one, and I'll show you the more advanced one. This is the less advanced one. Again, you want to make sure, just like in the village with that one gold bit, you want to make sure that you're slightly outside of the alcove before you rotate. Right here, so I just gotta kind of wait there for the game to tell me I've finished cube. Because that's just how it works. It won't let you collect any other gold cubes If you have 8, it takes a while for the game to like tell you, oh, you finished a cube. So you gotta wait for that. And until the game tells you that, you can't collect any more gold bits. Okay, so this is the more advanced way. I'm gonna show you something called perspective teleporting. Perspective teleporting is, again, like I said before, when you are mid-air and you switch perspectives in mid-air in an alcoved area. For instance, this is an alcoved area, and you switch perspective. You are going to so for instance, I'm gonna jump here. I'm gonna jump, and before I reach the top, so in other words, before I exit the alcoved area with my jump, I'm going to rotate left here, and I'm here. So I'll do that again so you can better understand it. What that does basically is, so it teleports you to the outside. It teleports you to the outside of whatever building you're inside, to the opposite direction of the perspective you switch to. And it takes a little bit to get used to, but you will get used to it. So the first one here, the first perspective teleport here is you want to switch left. And then you want to just jump to the left, and you'll end up here. And then perspective switch to the right. And do the same thing all the way up. And just rotate, get yourself to the top. And exit the door. Mash through dots text, go up here 3 platforms, rotate left, and just enter the door. Another thing here is you can actually skip this text. You can skip that text. It's a very slight time save, but you can skip it. And I'll show you how. Basically, if you just land close enough to the door with your jump like that, you can just enter the door before he starts talking. Whoops. You can just enter the door before Dot talks to you. So if you land like here, for instance, Dot's gonna talk to you. So you just want to try to land as close to the door as you can there. All right, so now we are now we come out at basically the main hub of the game. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the bell tower area. And this area is going to be full of perspective teleports. First thing you want to do is you want to go right. Grab that golden bit, rotate right, and enter the door. Again, corner kicks are totally optional. It's more of an advanced strat than anything. Okay, so right here. From this door, you want to jump up, rotate right once. Get to this plateau and do perspective teleport up to here. I'll do that again so you can better understand it. I actually rotate right twice doing this. Like that. Come up here. Grab this golden bit up here. And do it to the left. Again, left twice. Move left. Rotate left twice. Now I've seen multiple ways of doing this particular jump. I prefer to go right, but it's a little bit tighter. Going right, and you can land on that. But you can also go left. Wait, this isn't... Okay. But from here, you can also go left, and it's just a little bit easier to land on this. Okay, and then from here, you just want to ring this bell. So you want to ring it 3 times here. Turn around, ring it once. 6 times. And then 10 times. You can actually mash the button as many times as you want. Not as many times as you want, but as fast as you want, as long as you mash it the number of times required to ring the bell. Again, 1, 3, 6, 10. Or 3, 1, 6, 10, I should say. Jump here, rotate left, grab that platform. Oops, I rotated the wrong way. Rotate left, and enter the door. Interesting thing to note about that room as well. If you ever get something called we call it the bell glitch. So basically in that room, sometimes when you enter the room and the room zooms in, so for instance, like you'll enter the room and you'll actually hear the bell like as part of the background music. It's really strange, but it's a very peculiar glitch. That's actually the game registering a bell input a bunch of times on one side, and that's the 3 side. So if you ever hear that, just turn around, do the 1 side first, and then 3, and then 6, and then 10. And it's really no big deal. It's about a half a second time loss, but it's better than resetting, or it's better than, you know, losing time for re-entering the room. Okay, so from here, once you come out this door, you want to jump left there, rotate left, and you want to enter that door on the left side, level to where you are. There are 2 ways to get there. The slightly faster way is to actually do a perspective teleport to there. And the way you do this one is you run to the right, and of course you want to give yourself enough room, because if you don't, so for instance, let me get back over here. You want to give yourself enough room, because if you don't, just that'll happen and you'll just fly off, and that's not good. So you want to make sure you're still inside the alcoved area, and you want to hit right and left very quickly, like that. Right trigger, left trigger very quickly. So again, you want to give yourself enough room and do that. Again, if you're not feeling comfortable doing that, you can always just run over to the room, and it's actually not that much slower at all. Okay, this cube puzzle can be a little bit tricky. Cube physics in general are really strange in this game. But in general, what you want to do is you want to come over to this cube right here, pick it up, and you want to your objective here is to throw it up and hit the cube, hit the other cube, throwing this cube. And if you see the cube that you hit move, you're good. And you want to rotate right as soon as you see that cube move. So, like that. So you'll notice the cube closest to me right now up on the platform has a slightly brighter, like pink halo of light around it. That is your cue. And again, I'm going to reset this just so I can show you. You'll notice that when I actually... I'm going really into detail here, actually. But I think it's better to go more into detail than less into detail with stuff like this, because it can be a little bit hard to understand if you don't, if it's not explained. So basically that halo, the halo of light around the cube is going to get brighter as soon as I rotate the screen to the right here. So see how it got brighter? Like pretty much instantly? That is your cue to rotate the screen back to the left. So you want to rotate to the right and then rotate to the left so that the cubes align the way you want them to. It's really strange how it works, but it actually changes the way they're aligned. Like that. Jump up here. Throw that on top of there. Let me explain how I'm doing this again. Okay, so I won't complete the puzzle for the sake of leaving the blocks there. Make sure that cube moves. Throw that on top of there, and the next thing you want to do is you want to drop down and immediately rotate right so that you're right next to this block. Pick it up, and then you want to move right slightly, very slightly, so that you're just barely in front of that. Or like you can basically move right as far as you want, but as long as you're in front of this, you can rotate back to the left. And once you rotate back to the left, just throw that up there, and you're good. Okay. So now, again, just like we got here, we're going to do a teleport, a perspective teleport in the opposite direction. So you want to do that. Come on up here. perspective teleport here. Grab these vines over here and jump up here. Perspective teleport to this golden cube. From here, you can either go to the left here. You'll always complete a cube there, something to note. Hello? There we go. You can either do that, or from this golden cube here, you can just do another perspective teleport up there. That's my preferred strat. From here, your objective is actually to grab this corner, like that. Just jump right on the corner, and then do a corner jump to the right, and then immediately rotate right, like that. So that you're here. Grab that golden bit. Climb up here. Rotate to the left once you're on like the upper part of these vines right here. That way you can just jump up here and rotate to the right, and you're right next to the door. We take advantage of perspective like that in a lot of different ways in this game to make Gomez appear in a different position than he's probably supposed to. Okay, from right here, there are two different ways to do this room. One of them is just to grab this golden bit right here, jump on the block, and you're gonna enter this door eventually. But there's a slightly faster way to do this. So you're gonna use another perspective teleport, and you're gonna rotate from to the right and then to the left very quickly. This is actually an alcoved area right here. So you're gonna rotate to the right and then to the left, grab those vines. This room is pretty trippy. It's not that bad once you get the hang of it, though. It's full of perspective teleports and it's double perspective teleports, like all the way, pretty much. So what you do from here is you want to move to the right, and then you want to perspective teleport right and then right again, like that. And grab that ledge and do the same thing except to the left. Move to the left. Whoops. Sorry. Move to the left, double teleport to the left. Come up here. This square right here, you want to move left and double teleport left, except I didn't have enough momentum to actually make it to that platform. Another thing to note is that you maintain momentum whenever you do perspective teleports. So that's why you want to move in a specific direction first, so that you have the momentum you need to make the jump that you want to make. So again, perspective teleports, and then make sure you have enough momentum to land on that ledge, or grab it, that's fine. If you can't quite grab it, that's fine. Or you can't quite land on it, but you can grab it, that's fine, that's what I meant. Another perspective teleport here in this alcove area after grabbing this golden bit is what you want to do is jump to the right and do something like that to land on this platform. It's actually a triple, but you want to delay the third one a little bit. Let me see if I can get back over there. I'm actually not sure how to get back there. Okay, here we go. All right, so you want to jump up. So you're right here at first. Jump over here, and basically you want to rotate right twice, and then a third one that's slightly delayed while moving left. It's really hard to describe, but just watch how I do it, and then you'll see, you can practice it for yourself and see. So I move slightly left and move up here. Ideally, you want to land right in here, but it's fine if you land up here. You can just come down here, grab that bit. From here, you can actually do... That was the wrong way. Forget I did that. I'm actually not used to doing this. So there we go. You land right in there. And then from here, is it... There we go. Oh, I moved the wrong way, though. So from here, it's move to the right and perspective teleport to the right twice. Like that. If you're not comfortable doing that, which generally I'm not even really comfortable doing that, you just come over here and rotate twice to end up at the same spot. Okay, from here, your objective is to get up to this alcove area right here. Rotate right twice. and you'll end up here. And your objective is to get that golden cube right there. There are a couple ways to do that. You can either just grab this ledge, rotate to the right, and then grab it like this. Or you can do a corner jump and simultaneously rotate the screen. And that'll look something like this. So you want to jump up here, grab this corner. It's kind of weird. That jump's kind of weird, but it's something to get used to. And then from here, you just want to kind of press jump and rotate right at the same time to grab it. But again, you don't have to do that. That's fine. Okay, from here, we're going to do something called a fall cancel using an opening door. So you don't want to go in this warp. What you want to do is you want to drop down. You want to drop down. And you basically want to... there are a couple ways to do this. You can either rotate right and then just like go ahead and fall. But there's a door down there that we want to get to. And it's a little bit tight to actually fall between some of the platforms to grab the door. But the hitbox for the door is huge. You can actually land like anywhere near the door and press up, and you can actually enter the door, and that cancels your death animation, so you won't actually die, and you'll just enter the door. So what we want to do is, once we get the cube, what I do is I usually just drop down right away. So that was a good position to enter the door, basically. So I just like kind of drop down, and what that allows me to actually do is skip Dot's text. Because Dot has text that says, hey, you got 8 cubes. Like as soon as you grab this cube. But if you drop down fast enough, and I keep messing it up. If you drop down fast enough, wow. Like I said, it's a little bit tight to get down there. You can actually avoid Dot's text, but don't worry about that too much. You can also just like kind of rotate right before you drop down if that helps you. And then just press up and you'll enter the door. Okay, so this is actually a really bad spot to get black holes. Ordinarily, you wouldn't get black holes here. Like the chances are pretty low to actually get black holes, but black holes here are really bad because they completely alter the way you have to go to get to that door. Basically, we're just going to the other side of this pillar to get to the door. Every time you get black holes, by the way, there is... well, Dot will give you some text, and it's exactly 5 text boxes to match through it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm actually going to re-enter here to show you how to do this room without black holes. It's pretty simple. Just kind of jump up here, grab those vines, jump there, rotate left, and grab up here. And this is the door you're eventually going to enter to get to the waterfall area, which, by the way, I should go ahead and switch the code there. All right. If you get black holes, it's really awkward. I just kind of like... There'll be a giant black hole like all around here. So what you want to do is you want to just jump here and then try to jump over to that. I'm actually not too used to doing it, but you want to jump up, jump over to that, and then just rotate right twice and go and enter the door. Okay. So you actually have 2 codes to enter on this screen. One to enter that door right there, that's on the side of the building, and for the waterfall to open right here. So what you want to do is as soon as you enter this room, you want to jump to here and just enter the code from right here. Make sure you're not underneath the waterfall when you enter this code, because it can get a little bit weird. You can somehow wind up like all the way across the island from here. I've done that multiple times. I'm not sure why it happens, but it does. So you want to enter the waterfall door code here. That door will open. You can actually enter these codes as close together as you want, and they will always work. And then from here, the actual waterfall door for that door to open. And you're gonna want to go in here. Stand on the left side of this valve. Hold it and rotate left 4 times. And you want to make your way up. Again, you can corner jump here. It's a little bit risky if you're not used to it, but you can just kind of like corner jump there, make your way out. From here, as soon as you exit, you want to rotate right. Get in front of this wall, rotate right, and you want to get on this box. I like to rotate right on those vines. Grab the bomb and blow up this door. You can just hold the bomb and enter. This room, it's a little bit tricky to enter the code in this room. I like to enter it as I'm falling. Basically, so I drop down, and as I'm falling, I enter the code. So it kind of looks like this. Like that. I'm sorry, I actually should probably... There we go, there's the code. Okay, so that's the infinite fall code. Doesn't matter exactly where you enter it, as long as you do it quickly, I guess. But you can do it like standing on here. It would look kind of like this. Like that. And then just drop all the way down. Okay, so you can actually grab both these anti-keeps at the same time. It saves you like about 2 seconds if you do. I find this to be more consistent if the anti-cube, which is the blue one, if the anti-cube is lower than the golden cube. So I try to wait until the anti-cube is lower. I grab that, and I grab both at the same time. And you just drop down, grab that golden bit, exit. From here, just kind of jump on that platform, grab the golden bit, rotate twice, drop down. You'll always get a cube completion there. That's how you know you've gotten all the cubes you need. And you're gonna enter here. You're gonna enter the sink cave here. I'm actually gonna re-enter this place a couple times. One thing to note about this cave is you'll make it easier for yourself, honestly, if you change your video settings so that lighting is off. This cave becomes actually a lot easier if the lighting's off. You can actually see everything kind of better. It's really strange, but yeah, you can like basically just kind of see everything better. Okay. So I'll take this cave slow. There's actually a pretty advanced strat you can do in here. I did not do that correctly, by the way. Wait, let me go ahead and bring up this code. From right here, okay, so this is a cyan tuning fork. You just want to enter this code. Another one thing to note about tuning fork codes. There are 2 of them in this run. You need to make sure that the screen actually rotates when you input your trigger buttons. So with every other code in the game, you don't have to wait for the screen to rotate. You can just enter the code as fast as you want and the game will pick it up fine. But in these specific rooms, with the tuning forks, you must make the screen rotate with no exceptions. So a cyan tuning fork code is that. You just want to jump as soon as the screen flashes to grab the anti-cube, rotate right twice, and get out. As soon as you exit this room, you want to rotate the screen left. Again, there's a really advanced strat you can do in this cave, but I probably won't go over it. It involves this part right here. Just want to get up here, rotate to the right or left, whichever you choose. Obviously, the earliest cycle you can make here, the better. Grab that anti-cube and you're out. Yeah, in order to catch the earliest cycle possible in this cave, it requires extremely tight movement in order to catch the fastest cycle. I might make a separate video on that, but it's pretty advanced. It's very advanced actually, and it's nothing you should be worried about if you're just starting out. So you want to rotate left and just drop down, enter that door. There's a bit of a weird jump to start here. So you want to rotate left, jump in this alcove up here. One thing I want to note actually before I go into that jump is when you're climbing. So say I'm climbing these vines. If you hold up and just like mash jump, like you won't climb the vines as fast as if you hold X and let go of up, so that Gomez doesn't really grab the vines right away, if that makes sense. So from right here, I'm just kind of like nestling myself in this corner right here. I'm gonna hold left and I'm gonna try my best to jump and rotate like as close to the same frame as possible, like that. In order to get onto this platform. That's a little bit of a tight jump right there, but you can make that. Climb up here, grab this. I like to do a little corner kick off that tree right there onto this one. And on this tree, I rotate left and just make a leap of faith to the right because there's an invisible platform here. From here, I jump right and rotate left twice or right twice. Just basically make sure you're in this direction. I wasn't supposed to fall, but you get the idea. So you jump and just do that. Rotate left and open the chest. It's just the way the platforms work. Honestly, it's a little bit confusing. As soon as you get that anti-cube, rotate right and do the same thing. Drop down here and open the chest. I just like to hold down and mash my jump button there so that I land on this platform. From here, I jump over here, grab that golden bit, and then I just like to kind of jump down here, rotate right. Ideally, you want to land on the upper platform, but that's fine. Doesn't matter that much. First thing I do here is I jump, and at the apex of my jump, I rotate right. Come up here. There's a cycle to be made in this room. If you're quick enough, you can make the first cycle. I won't be focusing on that right now. So, corner kicks really help in this room for making that cycle. So I just kind of took that room really slowly. and then you enter the warp, and you're out of there. Okay, from here, you're going to enter the tree area, the natural-looking area. As soon as you enter this room, you rotate left. Just makes it easier to platform up here. This particular corner jump right here is kind of weird, considering you're trying to grab the opposite corner there. In order for Gomez to actually grab a corner, I should have noted this right away. In order for Gomez to actually grab a corner, you have to be holding towards the corner. So like he obviously won't grab the corner if I like don't hold left, basically is what I'm saying. So he won't grab the right corner if I'm not holding towards the corner like that. And then from there, I just kind of do a corner jump over here. Grab these vines here, rotate right twice into the alcove. Whoops, that was my fault. I didn't press up. Grab the vines. There's kind of a strange position right here where like yeah, it's weird. Like there's actually no vines from this perspective at one certain point here, and it won't let you do anything when you're in that position. But it's really strange. What I make sure when I jump here that that Gomez's FEZ is like around even with the like, so basically he fills in the lower half of this like patch of vines, basically Gomez does. And then I rotate left and just jump to the right. Okay, from here, we're going to enter another code. This is the Forest Obelisk code. You want to rotate left, honestly, before you do anything in this room. So rotate left, and then enter the code. Like that. And we're going to do a sort of weird perspective teleport here. It's going to look something like this. Like that, except I messed it up one time. I'll show you it again. I messed it up another time, but managed to get it at least both times. So you can't be in the door area or else it won't work. You have to be like sort of there, like right at the apex of my jump right there. You got to be like either there or slightly above the door, or else that teleport won't work. And you grab that. And dot's always going to give you some text here to tell you that you found 16 cubes. You want to mash through that. Jump up here and rotate to the right. These mushrooms are kind of funky, and honestly it might take some getting used to. Rotate right, rotate left. At the apex of your jump there, rotate right, so you grab those vines there. Okay, so this jump is a little bit tight. This is one of the tighter like areas here. So as soon as you land on this mushroom from right here, you want to rotate right, and then from there, that mushroom up there, you're gonna want to try to land on the very left edge of that. It's gonna look something like this. I missed it, but it looks like that. There we go. Another way to do this is, Another way to do this is, there's a slightly easier way to go about this. That's the fastest way, but I believe you can also, maybe you can't. I remember doing this once. You might be able to, yeah, you can just go up here if you don't feel comfortable with that jump. But honestly, I recommend doing this jump anyway from, let me do this again. Recommend doing this jump anyway from there to there. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, that's all. You want to prepare your next code when you enter this room. The Temple Obelisk room. So the first thing you're going to do is rotate left, and then there's a weird little jump here. You want to make sure Gomez is in front of this tree. So you basically just enter. Quickly, it looks like this. enter, and then once you're in front of that tree, just jump to the left, and then rotate left immediately. So it looks like this. So you land on that, or you can grab it as well. But if you grab it, that's fine. Just jump up, or corner kick up, or whatever you feel comfortable doing. Get up there, and then enter the temple obelisk code. That, and then jump up. What I like to do is I like to grab these vines and then rotate left, and then just jump up and grab this. Okay, this next part's a little bit weird, and it's going to take some trust. You want to jump to the left and grab this invisible platform right here. It's going to take some time to get used to this, and just jump straight up, grab another one, and then jump to the right, grab another one, and make your way up here and open this treasure chest. Rotate left once before opening the chest. Dot's going to give you some text for finding a treasure map. Rotate right, and drop down, enter the door. This room has kind of a tight jump. What you want to do is you want to rotate right, and you want to jump up to that corner right there. You want to jump up to this alcove. The fact that you fall a little bit before actually being able to jump, so basically you want to cut this as close as you can, honestly, otherwise you won't make it. That barely made it itself. Okay, so from here you want to jump on this tree and get all the way to the top of this vine right here. And there are two things you can do here. The safest way, you want to get up to that door, basically, the door that I just almost jumped to. So there are two things you can do here. You want to climb all the way to the top here, rotate left, jump on that tree and rotate right, and then just make your way up here, and that's fine. Or what you can do is from here, you can actually jump up, rotate right. You want to get yourself in front of that. This is going to be hard to explain, but you want to get yourself in front of the platform that the door is on. Rotate right, and then get in front of the same platform from that perspective, and then rotate back left. So it's going to look a little bit like this. Like that. So that you get here. It's about a second faster. But that's a little bit more complicated. It's complicated in the sense that it just takes some getting used to, again. Okay, I'll be honest, my version of the game is weird, so this cube net puzzle is going to be different for me. There are two different alignments that these cubes can actually have depending on basically whichever version you have. It's really strange. But basically, if you come into the room and rotate right, you'll notice that this block right here is right up against the monument. In other versions, the block could be here, like where Gomez is standing. And the position of this block is also different in those versions. For instance, if you want to learn how to do this solution with the other block puzzle alignment, personally, I would watch the way Gyu does it in his PB video for right now, or any of his PB videos if he's PB'd since this day. But yeah, his blocks are aligned that way. My blocks are aligned this way, and we'll go over the way that I do it with this block alignment. Okay, so with that out of the way, our objective is to find the last cube net with this. So you want to pick up this block and just throw it right there. That's the first thing you want to do. From here, I jump and rotate left twice, pick up this block, and immediately from here, I just kind of walk left a little bit, and like, it doesn't have to be that much, but as long as you have leftward momentum, it's fine. Jump, and at the apex of your jump, throw it as far to the left as you can. Just throw it over there. And then press down and A once to drop down here, pick this block up, and then jump on top of that block, rotate left twice. throw the block in there, like that, and then grab this block and finish the job there. And that's how I solved the puzzle. Okay, from here, enter the door, leave, rotate right, and enter the very bottom of the throne. Okay, there are a couple ways to do this room. If you're just starting out, this is the way I recommend doing it. So you want to grab this cube bit. You're always going to get this this cube completion, by the way. And during the cube completion, you want to go ahead and enter this code. Left, left, down, down, right, right, up, up. It's a pretty simple code. During the cube completion, the game still accepts your inputs. Therefore, you can actually go ahead and enter the code and have the anti-cube appear on top of the pillar. So this is the more advanced. Actually, I'm going to show you the advanced way to do it first. Okay, so what I do is I come up here, I corner kick, grab the cube, rotate right twice, grab this corner, and then do sort of a little corner jump and perspective switch at the same time to the right. So again, I'll do it again. Ideally, it would look like that. So that you're like up here when you get the cube completion, and then from here, you can enter the code. Like that. And have the anti-cube appear over there. If you are just starting out, I would recommend just kind of rotating right twice. I'm rotating right once, excuse me. Rotating right once, going up here, and then coming over here and grabbing this anti-cube. Now, I'm gonna go over kind of an even more advanced strat than corner kicking. This is gonna save you even more time, especially here, since it's gonna cancel out that little animation when you climb up like that. So in order to skip that, you can do something called the reverse corner jump. So a regular corner jump looks like this. You jump away from the corner. A reverse corner jump is going to be jumping into the corner. It's really strange to do, but like a corner kick, it's like a corner kick, except instead of letting go of the directional, instead of letting go of the directional, you press the other directional, like that. And that can save you a marginal amount of time once you start optimizing. As soon as this room loads, by the way, and starts swirling like this, you're going to enter this code right here. Oh, I'm not highlighted on the game. I was wondering why the code wasn't working. You can enter it at any time as long as it's before you regain control of Gomez. And therefore will be optimal. So you just grab the cube. Now this room is strange. And you're going to want to enter this code, the QR wall code in this room. Even though there's a little quirk to this room. You have to actually leave this room and re-enter it before it works. So this is the QR code room. I won't explain why you have to leave and re-enter the room. It has to do with the fact that this cube and the monocle painting room cube from the very beginning of the game are actually the same cube. That's as far as I'll go into that. I don't know that much about why this works the way it does, but all I know is that you have to leave and re-enter this room. And what I do, actually, I'll explain what I do. In order to leave this room a little bit earlier, it's really strange, but say, for instance, I'm standing right in front of this room and I press up. Oh, it didn't work. So I'm standing right in front of this room, this door, and I press up. Gomez is going to do that really long, like, running animation out of the room. He's going to keep doing it as long as I press up and re-enter the room and leave the room. And it's just really long and it takes a lot of time. So what I do is I just kind of stutter step to the right a little bit and then enter. And that's much quicker. It's visibly quicker than what he was doing before. Okay, so as soon as you enter this room, Gomez is going to do that long walking animation when he enters this room for the first time. And you want to enter that code, ideally, before you regain control of Frisk. Excuse me, of Gomez. Before you regain control of Gomez. Like that. It's okay if you can't get that, but it's whatever. From here, you want to rotate left immediately and go in this door. And this is the longest code in the game, but you want to enter this code right here. It's a 16 input long code. It takes some practice to get used to, but it actually, the pattern that this code follows is actually kind of easy to memorize in my opinion. So I think you'll get used to it. So basically you want to enter this room and just immediately start entering the code as soon as the room is visible. Like that. And then rotate so that the throne is facing you. As soon as you get the cube, rotate right and leave the room. Normally, when you grab this cube... Actually, that was weird. Normally, when you grab this cube, it puts you, like, behind the... Excuse me. Wow. It puts you, like, behind the chair like that, and you can just run out. Okay. From here, you want to rotate left. Drop down here. Once you're on this plateau, rotate left again and drop down to this door. Get the telescope code up. Okay, so this room can be a little bit funky. Quite literally, actually. So once you're on this plateau, you're gonna want to crank this, whatever you want to call it, rotating thing, to make vines appear up. First, you want to rotate left, and then crank it once to the right, and then immediately just come up here. You want to jump once, jump to the left, and rotate left, like that. And then Gomez will grab this platform right here, so long as you're holding up. From here, rotate twice. You want to jump up, full jumps up, and from about right here, you want to jump right and rotate right, and Gomez will grab that platform. From here, this is important now, you want to rotate this once to the right, but in order to give yourself enough time to actually climb these vines, you want to actually hold the rotation. So you want to hold the button so that Gomez just holds it there. Like this. And I can hold it here forever, basically, and the vines will never go away. So that'll give me enough time to actually jump and climb my way up there. And it's not that tight to get up there. You want to grab that anti-cube there. Run over here. Jump on this plateau right here. Rotate right once to enter the telescope building. Okay, so from here, as soon as you enter this room, rotate left. The place you want to enter this code, you want to actually enter this code like on the top portion, or I usually enter it on the top portion, and it ends up pretty perfect the way it winds up when I do it correctly. If I do it correctly, I should say. So once you're here, you want to enter the code. And if you do it correctly, if you do it quickly enough, I should say, the telescope will be facing left, and that's perfect. So from here, you can just drop down, and as soon as you drop off this telescope, you can rotate left, like that, and just drop straight down to the door, and it works out just perfectly. One really easy frame saver that I notice when I play this, or pretty much any platformer, is that you have more momentum, obviously, going down than you do when you just drop down. So from here, I like to, okay, so what I do is when I exit the door, I rotate right and I run left, and as soon as I'm like right underneath the middle of this tree right here, I jump at full height. I jump full height, and I'm supposed to miss that corner, but I guess I jumped a little early. But ordinarily you'll land right on the lower platform there, and you'll just go ahead and it'll save you like I don't want to go over too many like frame savers here because this is after all a beginner's tutorial, but that's a really easy one that I think everybody should do. Okay, from here I want to grab these vines, climb the vines. From here, rotate right. As soon as you enter this room as well, in the tree, you want to rotate right. This is the Rosetta code. You want to rotate right, and what I like to do actually is I like to just kind of, I like to grab this corner and then right from here start entering the code. So my up input will make me climb, and if I do it quickly enough, the room won't even rotate at all with my right and left trigger inputs. I don't know if I'll be able to do it right now because I myself am pretty bad at entering codes, but it should look something like this. I just missed the last one, but that's fine. Ordinarily, it would be still like this. So you grab the cube, and you can just drop down here. Rotate left. From here, there are a couple ways to... Well, what you want to do is you want to get up to the top of the octopus statue and grab the golden cube that's up there and warp away. So you want to jump right. There are a couple ways to do this. You can either like just kind of either just kind of jump up here, get on the crusher cubes, and get up there. Or what you can do is you can grab this corner and do like a little bit of a weird corner jump there. That's my preferred strat, is doing the corner jump. You want to rotate left just so that you don't have to deal with the other crusher cube. Grab that cube and warp away. Okay, and there's just one more major segment of this run before the very end, and that is the lighthouse section. So you're going to warp back here, back to the zoo ruins. You're just going to rotate left and warp back to the nature hub. Okay, so if you don't get black holes in this room coming back, there are actually two ways to get to the door that you need to. It's the door all the way on the... There we go. That door right there on the bottom right. So basically what you want to do is if you get black holes, or if you just want to play kind of safe, you can either like basically climb down these vines and get there, like that's fine. You can kind of drop down to there, that's fine. If you are feeling risky or you're comfortable with your jumps and your timing, you can actually jump all the way over here to these vines like that and then jump down to the door. But this jump is actually pretty tight, and if you fail this jump, I'm going to show you what happens. If you are late or even early for this, if you're early for the jump, okay, that's what happens if you don't jump at all. So I was so early for that jump that I just didn't jump and fell in the water. That's really bad. You don't want to fall in the water. If you do fall in the water, you just kind of have to climb up, and it wastes a lot of time. But if you're early for the jump like that, you just won't make the vines and you'll die. It's not as bad as falling in the water, but you want to make sure that he like falls off the cliff just for like a frame or two before you go ahead and jump. Okay, so right here, you're going to enter a code, the Lighthouse Obelisk code. You want to make sure that you land on this platform first before you go ahead and enter the code, But as soon as you land right here in front of this tree, that's when you want to enter the code. So it's going to look like this. Like that. Rotate right one more time, and then you want to go into this door here. And we can get that anti-cube later. We can get it any time. Okay, the lighthouse tuning fork. This is the second tuning fork in the game. As long as you're anywhere near the tuning fork, the code will work. So what I do is I just basically kind of like jump and do it. I jump and do it, and then once I'm done with the code, I grab the ledge going up. So it's gonna look something like this. Like that. As soon as the screen flashes, jump. Rotate right twice, or left twice, whatever. Enter here. There's a neat little trick I like to do here. This is one of my favorite perspective teleports in the game, actually. You can jump up to the left, and once you're like completely behind this thing right here, once you're completely behind the wooden post, you want to rotate right twice in succession. So it's gonna look like this. You just kind of jump out there. Alternatively, you can just kind of rotate right twice and go over there. But it saves you probably about a second to do it the perspective way. Plus, it's a bit of swag, so that's cool. Free swag. Maybe not free swag, but it's swag nonetheless. I like to unlock the key door here before doing anything else, but we're not actually gonna enter the door yet. You don't have to unlock it. You can unlock it now, or you can unlock it later when you come back to it. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna grab that golden bit. But here's the catch. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna grab that golden bit, and before we land on this pillar, we're gonna rotate left, like this, so that we land back on the tree. That's very important to do that, and it makes the jump a little bit tighter than it probably looks. So you have to kind of like you can't land on the pillar, or else you'll be way over here, and you don't want to be way over here. So you just kind of do that, and then from here, you want to get down to this post as fast as you can. Which I believe the fastest way to do this is just to kind of jump like that, rotate right. And there's your anti-key right there. And then we kind of do something along the same principle. So you rotate back left, you jump onto this post, you rotate back left. I like to grab here and then just drop down, and then you're right there in front of the door, and you enter the door. From here, jump on the... You actually have to jump on the table. Jump on the table, jump on this, rotate left, grab that shelf, and then as soon as you grab this shelf, you can rotate left and just grab the cube automatically. This room right here has a pretty advanced early cycle that you can catch. So these ladders turn basically... I'll wait until it comes around, and I'll show you how to get the fast cycle. Okay, so that's the fast cycle. That isn't totally easy. Basically, yeah, your objective is to, like, sometimes you'll just have to wait. Like, sometimes you won't get it. You won't get the ladder, and you'll have to, like, kind of wait there. You just have to wait the cycle to come back around, and then you'll go, and it's fine. But getting a faster cycle there, you know what I find actually, getting the faster cycle is a lot easier when you do what I call free jumps. Free jumps are basically what I was explaining earlier, the difference between like holding up like this and jumping, rather than giving it like a full jump up there without holding anything. or without holding any directional, I should say. But yeah, experiment with that, and honestly, it might work better. I find that free jumping twice works the best for me, personally. But that's just something that you'll have to work out. And from here, just gonna grab that bit, jump over here, rotate twice, and enter that door. Okay, from here, we're going to move to the right, and we're going to jump and rotate as soon as Gomez is in front of this pillar right there. Not pillar, but like in front of that wall. So if I can get back over there, actually, so I can redo that. That didn't work out the way I wanted to. That didn't work out at all the way I wanted to. How do I even get back up there? Okay. Gotta use this, I guess. Come on. There we go. Excuse me while I fumble my way around here. Okay, so you start here, and as soon as Gomez is in front of this purple wall, you just kind of rotate right. Same thing with free jumps, honestly. With this ladder, I find that optimally, I like for Gomez to be, I jump up on the ladder, I do one free jump so that Gomez is like right in this little hole right here. Like it's actually kind of a perfect little hole, like a perfect visual cue. And then I just do 4 jumps up, and then I jump left onto this platform, rotate right into this door. This room can be a little bit tricky. So what I like to do is I like to grab this ladder here, rotate left, jump here, grab this ladder. And this is one of the more difficult tricks. Like it's not really it's really not that difficult, honestly, if you're used to it and you develop muscle memory for it. It might be a little tough to get used to at first, but you will get used to it. So you want to jump up, rotate left. You want to jump up so that Gomez is in front of this wall here. And then you want to rotate left and then get back in front of the wall from the other perspective and rotate back to the right. Just like that. It's actually pretty easy once you get the hang of it. I remember when I first started out, I was driving myself up a wall trying to figure out how this was done, and it's actually a lot easier than I was making it out to be. Okay. And you grab that bit from here, you rotate right so that that door right there, that warp door with the 4-dimensional sign on it is facing towards you. That's important because these invisible platforms right here that you're about to jump on are dependent on your angle. And then you kind of like this takes a little bit of feel to develop, like where the platforms actually are, like that. Like I was very uneven with my jumps there, so it didn't quite work out. You basically just keep jumping to the right and to the left until you ascend high enough to reach this treasure chest. And then what I do from here is I just basically kind of walk to the right and then just mash down and your jump button to wind up there and take the warp back to the main hub. And from here you can drop down, open all the doors. Oops, I'm sorry, not that door. Open this door as well as this door. Enter here. And we're going to go to New Zoo. To get our last empty cube of the game. In the classroom. There are 2 different ways to get up to the room that we need to go to. We're going to make our way to the classroom. Immediately rotate left. Get in front of this building right here. Rotate left again. From here, you can either just grab the ladder and jump up here and jump up to this room, which is the room we need to go in. Or what you can do is get in front of this building and just rotate right, and that way is slightly faster. Okay, so this is another room where the up button is going to be your first input, and as I said earlier, you want to make sure you enter that up input fast enough so that you don't actually leave the room by accident. Like that. Grab the cube and you're out of there. Pretty simple. Just drop down here and rotate right and you're good. And there's one area left in the game, and that is the old village. Okay, so immediately here, just want to drop down here, grab that golden bit, and right here you will always get the cube completion. That is your last cube. You'll get some text from dot, and then you just kind of have to wait for this cycle to come there. Get up here, rotate left, and then just run all the way over here to this door. Match that text, enter, and as quickly as you can, make your way up to that platform. And activate the Stargate. And we are very close to being done with this run. You can do whatever you want here. It just you even honestly, even switching your perspective here doesn't freeze the game. Ordinarily, it would freeze the game for about half a second every time you did, or a quarter of a second. So what you want to do here is, as soon as this screen, I didn't do it here, but for the sake of showing you, basically, if I were to stay up here, I wouldn't be able to enter right away. So I like to stay on this, on these steps right here, and then just kind of tap my jump button as soon as the screen flashes completely white, and then just immediately press up, and you'll enter it every time easily. Otherwise, you'll be stalled there for a little bit. Okay, this is the last room in the game. Or the last significant room in the game. This is the gravity room. The earliest possible cycle you can hit, because there's a door that kind of rotates above everything, you can catch that door without rotating at all, but it's very difficult and pretty tight to get to. I'll show you exactly how to get it, but I won't try to get it myself, if that makes sense. I guess I'll just wait for it to come back around. Keep in mind that if need be, you may need to rotate the screen in order to enter the door as fast as you can. But I'll just show you the route to go here. So you begin by jumping there. There. You want to make sure you get enough momentum, so you want to make sure that Gomez here on top of this octopus statue is like he's a little bit to the right of the middle of it, if that makes sense. But that's important because you need to have enough momentum to actually make it over to this platform without having to like climb up it again. This part right here, I like to basically land up here and then move to the right, and then as soon as Gomez is like here, I jump, grab that corner and do a corner jump off of it, and then end up here. Grab those, grab that, grab that. And this takes some getting used to too, but I like to do full jumps here. Some people like to do jumps a little bit closer to the stairs. or a little bit closer to the little platforms, but I find that as long as I get this last jump perfectly, like that was pretty tight, I can get turnless still, even though, and turnless is optimal. So for instance, if you're up here and you need to rotate the screen in order to enter the door quicker, by all means do so. And you jump up and enter the door, and that is the run. And in-game time ends, and again, in-game time is really the only thing that matters. In-game time ends when you leave the door of your own house after this cutscene. So you finish the run with 21 Aether cubes and 11 golden cubes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond. There's a Discord for FEZ speedruns. I highly recommend going to check that out as well, a Discord server if you have Discord. I also highly recommend going to speedrun.com/FEZ for other guides and resources. Just mash through that. For other guides and resources, which are very useful, including an online Google Doc cheat sheet with all the codes on it. That was very useful for me personally. And time ends when you leave this door. Well, guys, I hope this tutorial helps you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm TGH, and thanks for watching. This is the first full tutorial I've ever actually made, and so it might not be the best thing ever, but I hope it helps you, and regardless, thanks for watching, and happy running. Take care.